Thank you so much for watching. This is an overview of the microphone parts mod kit for small diaphragm condenser microphones. In this case, it's two MXL 603S microphones, and I will include a quick recording of a few different instruments before the modification, and then a recording of those same instruments after the modification. The recording includes acoustic guitar and accordion in stereo and a couple of percussion channels in mono through a Digigrid D interface and into Pro Tools. Here is my workbench as I start the modification process. The first step is to inspect the new PC boards and sand off those edges. Next step is installing the diodes. Be sure to have a nice soldering iron with a good tip and clean it as often as you can. Make sure it's well tinned and go for it. So here's the first step of soldering those diodes and then clipping off the ends. And I'll just kind of go through most of the steps here really quickly, and then we'll get to the AB recordings. So right here is the capacitors that are not polarity specific. So they're not the electrolytic capacitors. So it doesn't matter which direction you put them in, it'll work well either way. So go ahead and solder those up, clip them off. Next we have the two transistors. Make sure you line them up with the outline on the board. Now a couple of resistors and a couple more capacitors, and then on to the bulk of the resistors. Be aware the JFET has specific resistors that they measure to make sure that the performance is optimal based on that specific JFET's properties. Finally, we have the electrolytic capacitors. Make sure they're lined up properly. And then ultimately, we have the final JFET and a final resistor and capacitor. And be very careful when bending the leg on the JFET. I did break one of the two and had to order a new one. Now we are at final assembly with the 3 signal cables and the connector for the mic element, and one last capacitor. Now on to the AB tracks. You can download these at the link listed at the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you find the AB comparison useful, and happy mic modding.